Good morning, wonderful people. How is everybody doing on this steamy Sunday morning in Jackson, Ohio? The Kindle works. Pictures on the Kindle work. The volume works. It is a wonderful thing. I got so much stuff going on this morning. But first, I am happy to be here. I'm happy to be hanging out with you guys. I did some major personal goals, some PBs, as some people say when they play video games, personal best, and I'll get into that in a minute. You guys are the first person I've talked to all morning. So the first thing I did this morning at 5:45 is get out and get some exercise. Only got a mile in this morning. I was feeling kind of sluggish. I worked myself pretty good yesterday. I cleaned the whole house, swept and mopped the floors, cleaned the bathroom, did everything a good bachelor guy is supposed to do with keeping up with good hygiene. I even got a shower, just the things you're supposed to do. So with that, I ended up doing a few things around the computer, getting things set up in here, and getting all the cameras set up, getting the things ready for the grill. As you can see, the grill, and just having a good time. I had to do it in little bits and chunks because I was wore out. Because yesterday morning I broke loose after stream. Now I know stream was only an hour. I lost track with what I was doing, so that was entirely my fault. But it wasn't a horrible stream. We got a little gameplay into it. I'll probably have to redo it on Thursday. But it's all right. I had a good time. We chatted a little. I chatted a little bit and yapped, and talked about my thoughts and ideas and my excitement to go to the farmers market. I was really excited to go to the farmers market yesterday. I ended up getting out of here after taking care of a few more things, making sure the stove was off and all the lights were off, and everything was locked up and all that kind of stuff. Typical stuff most people do. And I shot over to the bank. Bank wasn't open yet. I was early. Bank opens at 9. And checked the ATM. It was down. The ATM was down. So I shot over, got gas, and waited for the bank to open. And got 20 bucks out of the bank. And says, I'm ready to go. So then I put it in my my phone and shot across town. Within 4 or 5 minutes, I was there. It was down off one of these side streets by a law firm in town here, and it's over by CVS. So I know exactly where it is now. It's just over the train tracks. I could find it with no problem. So I went there. I parked in the concrete, and I don't mind walking a little bit. Walked down to it and took a couple pictures on my way down. I didn't have a good vibe or feeling on how all the vendors were about getting their pictures taken and stuff like that. It was out in public. I could do it, but I didn't want to upset anybody. I did go through and say good morning, how you doing, talk to the vendors, get business cards. There's some fabulous tea, Pup in a Cup. What a great name. It's got a little puppy on the business card, and that's what their emblems were on their homemade teas. And it was fabulous. So now, they said, we will offer you some. I said, that's okay. So that's good. I think I might order a couple trials, get online and see what they got. Something green tea-ish, kind of an herbal tea, see what they can do for me. Um, Other than that, there's some people with some flowers, some wildflowers, a lot of baked goods. There was some honey. What else was there? They had one big booth for vegetables and stuff like that, which is really nice. They had melons, and they had cabbage. I got a big giant cabbage for $3 for next weekend's bachelor cooking, and I thought about getting some green peppers, but I'll hold off. I'll come next weekend, this coming Saturday, and I'll get some more fresh foods for the uh, for the meal for next Sunday for the bachelor cooking on Sunday, and that's posted in Discord. The menu or the recipe for next weekend: cabbage roll, basically kind of like yeah, a steak, and it really looks good. Some cheese on there and all that kind of stuff. It's a cheaper steak. It's one that's been diced and sliced and kind of cobbled together. I can't afford the good stuff, but I'm excited to make it in cabbage. Get away from that bread. Philly cheesesteak. A Philly cheesesteak in cabbage leaves. And it looks with some provolone cheese, I think, if I remember the recipe, and it looks fabulous, fabulous. So that's next weekend, and I'll pick up some more green peppers and stuff then, and we'll get that situated. And I'm excited. I'm excited to go back to the farmers market, get a little closer, ask if it's all right to take a picture to some people. They are all friendly. They're all nice. They were kind of astonished by somebody being excessively polite and kind to them, wishing them a great day. And it was drizzling and it was raining, and it was really good. I was only there for about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and it really started getting hopping. The cars really started piling in. I was like, it's. Look at the time. It's time to go. So I'll know next Saturday. Remind me, Chad, to get my wheels up a little quicker. Leave here about 8:30 and turn back around from there. Be there by 20 till or something like that. With getting the car situated and get all loaded in the car and get everything going. And we'll see if we can get there and get a little something with the vendors going before everybody gets there. I think this is going to be a great thing. I want to buy some flowers from the vendors. My mom always raised me up growing flowers in the flower gardens and everything else. And turn back around from there. I don't know how many weeds. I think upon the millions, well, maybe not that much, tens of thousands of weeds I pulled, me and my siblings pulled out of her flower gardens and cleaned up and out of the vegetable garden and all that kind of stuff. And so she always had flowers. She grew. She worked at Victorian Gardens. She sold roses. She had a flatbed truck. She was a truck driver, and she went around to stores and said, "Well, do you need this? You need this." And it was really up to speed on all the different varieties and the best flowers and everything else of her Hills roses. So she owned her owned her own business, Victorian Gardens. I get those mixed up. And she really knew what was going on there. She grew her own flowers and herbs and put potpourris together before it got real hot and popular and it went overseas and everybody made it for the cheap, cheap. And she could not ask for the commanding dollar that they were really worth because they're all fresh and all done properly and everything else and natural, and all the incense, all the incense, and all that kind of stuff that was in for the pottery was all handcrafted out of oils she mixed together, and she really some skills. So to get those flowers at the farmers market was kind of a commemoration for my mom. So kind of remember all the young stuff I did and everything else. And I love beautiful things. Have I sold you I need to get some flowers? And it's not just a guy thing. It's actually very beautiful. And it makes the house smell good and they're beautiful to look at and they're nice to have around. And I think I'm going to do it. So turned back around from there. I got out of there, came back and did all that work around the house and did all that kind of stuff. Now for this week, everybody knows I got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday off. Those are my doctoring days. I go schedule all my psychiatrists, my therapists, my medical doctors, all my tests, my blood work. Well, I get my blood work sometimes during the week, but seeing doctors and do what I got to do. And for the last 6 months, it has taken all 3 days at the beginning of the week to get in there and see my doctors. I've had it where I've been one a day. I've had a doctor I had to visit. I had to go to one a day. And thankfully, I'm through that, but I still got, my steady doctors that I have to go and see. And I got therapists still once a week. I'm still working on trauma and everything else. And so I got it this Wednesday, and I'll be having it from here on in. It looks like every Wednesday. We got it scheduled for 10 weeks into the future. So we'll see where we're at after that. So so I'm looking forward to that, hanging out with him, doing our thing, trying to become a better person, trying to become a stronger, and better person, more emotionally sound, more emotionally secure, and all those good things that a significant other would need you to be, and you need to be for yourself. So those are the things I'm working on. So that's what's going on there. Other than that, I gotta call the pharmacy. They double billed my credit card for my latest prescription. My latest prescription that I got not this last week, but the week before. It still hasn't gotten here yet, even though it's July 4th weekend. I do not know what's going on with this company, but it said it's been stuck in Ohio since the 6th. So I do not know what's going on. So I have to find out what's going on with that. With that, I got a call about all those kind of things and miscellaneous other things I got to do and that kind of thing. I did talk to my wonderful sister yesterday. Kind of spent some time on the phone. Won't get into all the details, privacy. But I asked her about those books, George Orwell's 1984, Fahrenheit 451, and The Animal Farm, and the books associated like V for Vendetta and all those kind of things. And she said she did the millennial, she's a millennial, did not read those books in school. And I explained my conversation with my therapist, basically the curriculum hasn't included those, and my little nieces and hasn't read those kind of things. And my sister corrected me, and she says, Lily, the 16-year-old or 17-year-old, has read 1984 and loaned it to her mother, my sister, and she read it then also. She says, you got to read this book. I said, Liza, I said, there's a movie to go with that book from the 80s, and it's still legit to this day. So if you want an anti-establishment, question authority, question what's going on, those are good books we talked about yesterday. Excellent, excellent. To open your mind, open your eyes. I think we're in some of the problems with the politicians and everything else that we've been in across the globe because we didn't question authority. When we went to the give me free, I want this for free, and everybody wanted stuff for free, and they got snaggled in their snare, and that's how it is. You'll have that. So enough about politics. Some people can't handle it, or not handle it, can't have it. So sorry. And so we'll move on from there. Other than that, as you can see, I got a few things going on. Today we're having teriyaki hamburgers on and grilled vegetables on the shish kebab. So I got the grill going. I've cleaned the grill off. I got the camera out there. Is it still working? It is still working. Burning fuel. I've had it on now about 40 minutes. It should be prime for some veggies. I need to put some oil on it. Some pardon me, vegetable oils on the grill. But let's prime up the teriyaki hamburgers so they can marinate for a minute. It doesn't say it's got to marinate, but I want them to marinate a little bit. It says mix 1 pound of ground beef with 2 tablespoons Kinder's teriyaki marinade sauce. All right, so let's get this out. We have our 7327 hamburger. I have here marinating sauce. This is the dipping sauce. I got the marinade. Oh, where's the thing at? Marinade. So we'll get the marinade out. Buy one, get one free. Z, how are you? Yeah, I was watching Yellow's Light this morning. She Holland over there and everything for the game, and pushed one. He got pushed, and he ended up pushing the other guy back and knocked him down. They flagged him, and it was horrible. That was horrible. They picked on him on purpose. They did that on purpose. So she was kind of a couple of things, and Yellow's Lights lives in Norway, and she's a wonderful person, great streamer, and basically from there, all her people that was hanging out in her chat and all that kind of stuff were all talking about it and different things. And there's a couple Brits that came in there stirring it up, and then they weren't very well welcomed. So little Miss Yellow Light's a diehard Norway fan, and so are her chat fans. So I heard some of the story. So I understand, Z. I understand. I hope you get your chin up a little bit. They'll be next year. And from what Yellow said, Messi, which is French, I think. I'm not for sure. I don't follow the cup. Said that they're going to be up against him, and she hopes that he kicks their butt. Game is rigged. That's what Yellow said. And good morning, Dan. Sorry I missed you there, brother Dan. Good morning. So we got the marinade sauce, and then we need to form into patty season with Kinder's wood-fire garlic and teriyaki seasoning. We got one of these. Buy one free. So I get the wood-fired. I love wood-fired. Grill for 8 to 12 minutes and brush generously in the more teriyaki sauce during the last minute to cooking to serve on toasted bruschetta buns. We do not have bruschetta buns. A few adjustments to the recipe. We're going to grill inside the house. You can't see it. We're going to grill on a cast iron like we did the last batch of hamburgers through here. And let's see, what else? Oh, I went to the store yesterday looking for stuff, and I'm really not into whole wheat bread, and I read an article or two that said sourdough is not bad for diabetes. So we're going to give it a shot. I did not take my reading this morning. I know it's going to be fairly low. I have not had breakfast. I've had some coffee. But we're going to try the sourdough. Plus, it was on sale. It was like $4.50. So we got that going on. So we're going to have sourdough bread with the teriyaki. Hopefully it goes well together. I was taking a guess. I had to do constraints of my medical condition. I hope everybody understands. You can use the bruschetta buns. They are excellent. I had them on other recipes, and they are really, really good. They're great on chicken sandwiches. You fry up a little chicken sandwich, or you bake a breaded chicken sandwich, Get in there, get some breading on it with some mayo, and then bread them up, and then stick them and bake them at 400 for 20, 25 minutes. You get to check and make sure they're done 165 at the thick part, and get them out of there, cut them up. I slice them into slices and put them on the bun or put them on bread. Most excellent. And I eat a lot of chicken breast and a lot of fish because of my diabetes. So, okay. Thank you, Dan. All right. So we got that. Now let's go ahead and cook this up. Say 1 pound of ground beef, turkey or chicken. We're gonna do. I like beef. I don't have it that often. All right. 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. I was watching little Miss Ilsa. She's a wonderful streamer too, one of my favorites, and I like watching her. Her and Violet Shade, they're both on at the same time. It's hard to get in there and watch them both. I have to sometimes choose the favorite of the day. Ilsa and Violet Shade. But Violet was, oh, that totally screwed that up. Violet was, Ilsa was making some mac and cheese that ended up, things didn't turn out well for her. And she ended up making some pasta for dinner. But she is amazing cook, amazing. I wish I could be that good. So we got what I was getting at. These are her favorite. If I looked at the box right, she was only on there for a minute. Her favorite, and I had some of those beforehand. I was like, oh, that is awesome. Trying to keep up with the best. Old Ilsa, she is wonderful. God bless her soul. God bless Violets too. Both highly intelligent women, feisty, full of fire, which I like. Women with spirit. Leave that like that since I ripped it up. 2 tablespoons. I still watched her show even though things didn't turn out her way it happened. She didn't have any heavy whipping cream for her mac and cheese. And she was really heartbroken. She said, I really wanted some mac and cheese. She was just having a bad day. We all have bad days. But she is awesome. Ilsa, I do believe is how you spell her name. And Violet Shade. She's an amazing Brit. Don't tell Z. She is probably watching the game. Let me get all that goodness off there. When they were both variety streamers, they're pretty awesome young ladies. I say young because I think I got 20 years on them. Violet's got a master's degree, and Ilsa's got a degree in hard knocks of life. She's really a very well-rounded person. All right, what else do we got going on? It says prep the meat in a large bowl. Gently mix the ground beef, panko breadcrumbs, and 2 tablespoons of Kinder's teriyaki sauce. Do not overmix or the burgers will get tough. Form patties. Shape the mixture into 4 equal-sized patties. We'll get 3. Press a slight indentation in the center in each patty so they do not bulge while cooking. Season. Generously sprinkle both sides of the patties with Kinder's wood-fired garlic or teriyaki sauce. All right. Get all that sauce mixed in there. I wouldn't say that's over. Now we're going to put this in the fridge. It doesn't say that in the recipe, but I've done that to the other recipes like this with Kinder's and let it marinate a little bit. All right. So how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. Enjoying the day. There's a heat wave in central U.S. Looks like it's attacking a bunch of people. I get 3 hamburgers. Plus they're 73, 27% fat, 73 beef, and 27% beef fat. I hope beef fat. And so they're going to shrink considerably. So I have no problems with 3 patties. Keep the water away from the Kindle. It's always smart. Let this fill up a little bit of water. All right. Now I put some of this wood-fired garlic season in there. It said be generous. I don't have a problem being generous. I'm a generous kind of guy. Give you the shirt off my back until I'm broke. Then regret sets in. So try not to get to the regret stage at 50 anymore. Know your limits. Know your limits. All right. Ooh, that smells good. Oh, I like that. All right. I suppose the reason why I was generous is I got in my mom and stepfather's family. I have a sister and I have two younger brothers, and that's where I was raised up in. My biological father had a three wives, had a couple kids, had us boys. My sister's my stepfather's daughter, so she's my half sister, but always been my sister my whole life. But I was trained to give up what I had, my toys. We were poor. We weren't dirt poor, but we were pretty tough. And I was trained to give up and let my siblings play with all my toys or have my toys what it ended up being. And let them play with things, have turns with everything, and when it came to buying something or having cereal out of the cereal box, give them the last of it, and it's just how I was raised up. Share with your siblings, and that was beaten into me. I mean, regularly beaten into me. What do we got going on here? All right. Did I tell you I had a big thing of mushrooms, guys? Oh, the other camera. Big thing of monster. I love mushrooms. And they need 8. We got some Kroger. All right. Can everybody see the cutting? bring this down just a little bit. Since the other camera's outside. Alright, these are the zucchinis. They're a little small, but that's what they had. That's what I got in my pickup order. We need to make them a little thick so they survive on the grill. They'll take a little longer to cook, but that's okay. Hey, jumped out of the trash can. There you go. Going on. Which you'll have that with kids. So she's doing much better from her little ailment that got her over to urgent care and canceled game night. She's back to work and all that kind of stuff at the Wally World. Back to work at the Wally World. Ooh, look at them mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I love them. Put that on the prep table. Then our peppers. Hey, you guess you're the first to get cut. A nice big giant orange one, my favorite. All right. You're chopping those up in a minute. Brute force, guys. Brute force. Get in there and open those up. All right. All right. With these bigger chunks, this is the part where I thought I could use more peppers that I wrote in Discord. All right. We got what it takes to make shish kebabs. Clean up some more mess as we go here. Put a little bit of oil. I don't know if we're going to use this many. We'll go until we run out of supplies. All right. Trip over the carpet. We're going to do zucchini first. Want the ends to stick out of the grill a little bit. Mushrooms. Should I put some Kinders on those? Huh? Anybody's opinions? What was my career? You can find it in Discord under Game Night with Family and Friends. And turn back around from there under Eldon's profile. I pasted my resume in there. Also under Twitch, you can go to my LinkedIn page and pick it up there. But to save you all that time, sir, I was an HVAC engineer. I programmed building automation systems, computers that controlled like universities and hospitals and high rise and big campuses for school districts, control systems. I designed it. I laid out all the computers and controllers and did all that kind of stuff, all the sensors and everything the engineer, the real engineer, the PE, the professional engineer wanted. And then I went on site and programmed it and got everything up and running, everything commissioned and operating the way that the engineer wanted to. A lot of the time, having meetings with the engineer and engineers and sitting down with them on the job site and have them go through and review the sequences that they spec'd out, how they wanted things to run, and uh, and that's what I used to do. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. I was very good at it. I was very well paid. I was very well paid. I did that for about 10 years. I got to work for a Fortune 100 company at the age of 23. I went to trade school. I got a divorce from my ex-wife, and I went to trade school. I was going to trade school and working a full-time job at the time of the divorce, and my professor felt bad for me. He quit the school and offered me a job where in the service department, and I did tech support for the United States for Johnson Controls, and they stuck me on second shift. So I took care of mostly the West Coast, and I've been out to the West Coast several times. Really exciting job. They paid for a bunch of my schooling and everything else. It was so cool. It was one of the it was my career. I found what I love to do. Most people don't get that lucky. Most people don't get that lucky. But it's really what I wanted to do. Once I got into it and everything else, and then I knew how to fix my own air conditioners. And when I went to school for HVAC and heating and cooling, and my neighbors loved me because they wanted me to fix their air conditioner. I said, I work on the programs. Oh, can you fix our air conditioner? The kids are burning up. Yes, I'll fix your air conditioner. And I never charged any of my neighbors for the work I did either. My hairstylist, the Devana, I loved her. She did such a great job on my hair. I'm just now getting to the stylist at the salon I go to now to get my hair cut the way I like it, and without it being all puffy on the sides and everything else. And Devana, her and her husband, Paul, I think, and a mixed couple, they're great, great people. And basically from there, I went over to her house and said, well, you need to change your filters and you need to do this. And so even my hairstylist, I worked on her air conditioner. I had more supplies than what I thought I had. Grandpa, I am 50 years old. I will be 51, a juicy 51 years old in October. And I'm happy to be here. And I've come through a lot and I've survived a lot. I'm lucky to be here for one. Yes, definitely a posture. My posture is horrible, sir. Horrible. Absolutely, positively horrible. It's from being in, I used to go into mechanical rooms and spend a 12, 16-hour day shift, 6 or 7 days a week, sitting on a 5 gallon bucket. It turned to the bottom, of course. And my laptop would be on the another bucket, and I'd have wires coming out of my laptop hooked into panels and everything else so I can download and test out equipment. I'd have giant air handlers bigger than this room on the other side of me running with big fans that would rip off your arms and everything else. But being hunched over that laptop for all them hours smoking cigarettes like a fiend really did a number on my posture. Really did a number. Now, I was born in 1975. What a great year. I watched Star Trek, the original one with Mr. Kirk and Mr. Spock and McCoy. My favorited. I like the Next Generation too a lot. I used to watch that. It was free TV when I was growing up. Free TV. Back to my parents worked their butt off to raise 4 kids, didn't have any help from the government. I think the government laughed at them and did it all on their own. When I was 13, I was in a really bad auto accident with a neighbor. I went over to help her clean her basement to make a couple dollars, and I ended up racking up 100,000 and 88. That was a ton of money, guys. That was a ton of money. And my dad didn't file bankruptcy or my mom. They paid for it. So we had our struggles growing up. So I helped my parents so much when I got making money and doing all right. I did what they needed the most was they needed help on the farm. Ah, I missed one. We don't need that. Helping them on the farm, and I loaned them money and gave them money and helped them out. And mom and I got into business together, basically cohorts. She do a lot of office management and everything else when I owned my company. And I would supply the funds for her to get the software and everything else she wanted to do. She built websites. How smart my mom is. Built websites and the old HTML websites. And she was really good at it. Being a little wasteful here, but it's all right. All right. We got to oil the grill. Don't forget to oil the grill. We are going to put seasoning on this. We're going to go with it. We got sticky olive oil on there. We're not going crazy. We'll turn them over. When they're buy one, get one free, use them. And Kinder's is such good quality seasonings and sauces. And all right. Let me go oil the grill. Open the doors, let the heat in. Ow, that is hot. That is really hot. That is melt your flesh. All right, get our shish kebabs out here. Since there's no meat on them, we don't have to wash it off. We'll just stick them over here. It's hotter over here. Ooh, that smell. Perfect. Those are perfect. 5. Looks like rain again. Let those set like that for a minute. Oh, that smells awesome. Air conditioner is going to cost me $1 million this month for having the door open so much. Let's see what else is happening, guys. I don't know. I'm glad it's Sunday. I always look forward to Sunday for the good food. Of course, we got the freeway behind me. Sorry about that. The good food, the relaxing, carrying on, acting a fool, doing some cooking for everybody. And then after I get done cooking, I get to eat real big, and I get to take the rest of the day off and relax and tinker around the house and get into low stress mode and yeah, enjoy life. I'm so glad to be over so many doctors. I do say a doctor a day on my days off, 3 doctors a week. Oh, it was testing and poking and prodding, and oh, it was horrible. What they found wasn't so good. They found a little bit of thing with my heart. A schism is what they call it, which is 6% of my heart could go into low oxygen if I'm under high stress. I'm running or exercising real hard or doing something like that. 6%, there's a little spot that'll kill the muscle off my heart, is what they say. Or it could be an artifact, which is a fancy name for it could be like a shadow off of something, one of my organs or something like that. So that's that. They also found that I was diabetic type 2. So that was the big eye opener, real life changing event. Got to go to vegetables, got to eat plenty of vegetables, got to eat like high protein meals like chicken and fish. For the last 4 months I've eaten a lot of that. This month I'm getting away from it a little bit. I get kind of burned out a little bit, and I'm trying to think of new ways to cook. So being this Bachelor Cooking Sunday gives me a plethora of new ideas and new ways to cook food for my diabetes, and that's why it's Diabetics Central. As because I'm the one that's eat the food. I don't have anybody over, and it's a waste of money if I just throw it away if I can't eat it. So I try to make diabetic friendly food that everybody can eat. Everybody can eat. So just because you're not diabetic doesn't mean you can't eat healthy or take an idea or two away from it. Take an idea or two away from the meals or just being entertained. Somebody else is cooking. It's always fun to watch. So, so I found that out. Tie that on top of my GAD, general anxiety disorder, which has been pretty rough here the last few months, 3 or 4 months, 5 months. So I appreciate y'all putting up with me and helping me out with that. You've been a great help. And then I got my PTSD, which is still very active. What does it say? Prolonged or extreme is what the paperwork says. That's from 20 years ago being harassed, and various other things, events that happened since then. And turned back around from there. My bipolar, when I was put in the hospital. So that's been not so bad here lately. I think the doc's got the meds right. And I'm doing pretty good. If I get these sleep meds in, I think I'll be doing even better. So hopefully they come in tomorrow, but I have to call the pharmacy, the mail order pharmacy, and see why they haven't. So that's Eldo in a nutshell. Other than that, right now I'm doing really good. My mentals are on cue. I'm feeling good. My anxiety's a little up, but it is always a little up. Uh, Other than that, my PTSD's kind of not hitting so hard. I've been talking about it and going through stuff at the therapist, and I've had plenty of other things to keep me preoccupied, which kind of takes that cognitive thought process on higher priority projects that I'm working on, and kind of shifts that PTSD to the background a little bit, which has been nice. It's been very nice. The stress and anxiety dealing with this other stuff isn't so good, but not so many flashbacks and trauma that I was going through with the PTSD has been nice. And the bipolar, other than not sleeping, my mood's fairly stable. The doctor's keeping a good eye on my lithium levels and my medication. I take my medication regularly in the mornings and the evenings, like the doctor says. And I'm on it, and that's the key to a lot of things. Is I'm getting good exercise, I'm eating well, I'm eating healthy, and turn back around from there. I'm taking my meds the way that I'm supposed to, and that has done a world of difference on how I feel. Just a world, and that's the key with everything. Got them charted up pretty good, so just kind of getting the other two sides, and we'll call that on them. Kind of draining some of the water out of them so they taste better. Boiling it out of them, if you will. So that's that on that. Mentally, I have to say I'm doing much better after I made some really good, great breakthroughs with my doctors and some of my personal things that I've been struggling with for a while. And that's really brought me a lot of peace, and to know my doctors stand behind me and actually put their names on the line, and gave me recommendations and everything else for saying what a good person I am, what a great things that I've helped with and done and that kind of thing. And I'm very happy. That really puts a boost of confidence in me and brought me a level of peace. So you can't beat that. When you know the doctor's on your side, they write a letter and give you a letter for the whole world to see. You know you're doing something right. And I really found some good doctors. I've had some over the last 20 years when under my treatment for my bipolar. I've had some bad doctors, and at this point, I've got some really really good doctors, and I'm very blessed. I have to consider that a blessing to find good doctors out here in the middle of nowhere. Find good doctors, help you out, stand with you, help, follow through with things, and make sure, call you and say, "Are you doing all right?" Because even my medical doctor, this has been a year or so ago, 2 years ago, he called me up, say, "Hey, how you doing? I was reading some blood work you took here, and it was this morning. And how you feeling? How you doing?" I said, "I'm not doing so hot. I'm calling a psychiatrist to get the levels up. But thank you for calling." He asked me, "And you just visit for a minute and see how I was doing." That's a good doctor. That is a good doctor. Take the time, call you up, see how you're doing, or now they'll send me a message on the portal since I've had great conversations with them, and just send me a message, online to secure portal, and that's been really nice. So I'd open up communication with your doctors. If they got a portal or some type of, where you can talk to your doctors, leave messages, and communicate with them, I really highly recommend opening up that avenue of communications. Don't abuse it. They don't like it abused, but they do like to have contact and know what's going on and that kind of thing. So that's helped. And I got my email to my psychiatrist, and I email him, and he'll send me a two sentence kind of, or a one sentence kind of reply, or one or two word reply is what I should say. "Well, that's good. You're doing good. Keep it up." Just a little something. And if I got a problem, I'll let him know. And he's always in tune to get back to me and everything else. It's so wonderful. My therapist, a little harder to get a hold of like that. But I talk to him once a week now, or once every week. But I can call in there. Actually, it's right down the road here. I can throw a rock at it, practically the hospital. And I can go over there. I can talk to him. His boss knows me, the psychologist, and she'll talk to me when she gets an opening, and all that kind of stuff. So I like mine a little crispy. Last side, we'll go inside. That sounded like the sound it makes when the propane gets low. I got another tank out in the shed. I plan on doing more grilling this summer, guys. I love the grill. It is something wonderful. Nice charred, kind of barbaric, kind of, I am the king of the grill. I can cook. I can make things happen out on this open fire. And it tastes different. It tastes wonderful. Now I got some stuff to make smoke and all that kind of stuff, and we'll have to see if I can get it working. We'll have to see. All right, we're gonna call it. We're gonna turn all this off. All right. I don't know how much is in that, but I think it's getting low. Get things set up in the kitchen. Hello, hello. Got my tie wraps holding my hiking pole, my backpacking pole up, and I got a camera mounted on it. See if we can get this without banging the roof. All right. There's the shish kebabs up close. Aren't those wonderful? Nice color, nice. Move this over here. We can set that there. All right. Turn that on, get it warmed up. Move the table out back out front. Can you still hear me? Check this out. We're doing good. All right. Let's wipe the stove off. Get some dishes done. These should have marinated very nicely. I had spinach to eat. I'm not looking forward to the spinach eating. All right. That's smoking yet? Oh, and there's a couple pictures I've taken of the farmer's market is under Bachelor Cooking in Discord. And there's a couple pictures in there and a couple I got off the internet above it. And it was fun. I'm going to get closer up pictures next weekend, I hope. All right. Let them cook for a little while. I'm so happy. Did I tell you I'm happy? I feel happy. I feel good. I'll steal one of these mushrooms at the end of this and see how it is. Mmm. Oh, that is good. Smell good. Smell like that wood fire garlic. Thanks, Stan. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Go wrap up the grill. I always double check. It is always wise to double check the propane. Make sure it's turned off all the way. Usually get a little twist out of it. All right, it's cooled down enough. Lock the back door up so the monsters don't get in. Give the air conditioner some time to recover. What a wonderful lunch. What a wonderful lunch. Nope, check my phone. Could be my parents. They're supposed to come out sometime or other. Could be sitting out front. Confirm my appointment for this week. So checking a few more things here. I need to flip them hamburgers in a minute. I can smell them. All right. Woo, smoking. A little crumbly. Still a lot to cook there. Must be that sauce. This smells wonderful. You got the shish kebabs, the bell peppers, and the mushrooms you can smell. And the seasoning, the olive oil is really good. And then the teriyaki hamburger, charring and that wood fire seasoning is really good, really strong and pungent with everything on the burner right now. It is amazing. Well, I already set the smoke detector off once again this morning, so I'm trying not to do it again. The hamburgers do smell really, really good. That teriyaki, I can smell it. It smells awesome. We'll put the dipping sauce on it. Buy one, get one free, right, guys? When it's buy one, get one free, feel free to use it in your recipes. It is a little pricey when it's not on sale, but it is so good. So good. Notice the other one had a flat lid. This one is dipping sauce, sesame teriyaki. Should I put it like this? Put some of that on them hamburgers when I pull them out. I would do it in the pan, but the pan is so hard to clean. It is so viciously hard to clean. I still see some red. Hamburger's breaking up pretty bad though. Those need to cook for a while. My parents would say put an egg. I should have put an egg in there, but I've been making meatloaf. I would have done that. More mushrooms. Treat yourself, as Leopard would say. Treat yourself. Try zucchini. Mm, I'm hungry now. Stand back. The bell pepper not overcooked, which happens a lot to me. I like making a chicken shish kebab with vegetables. It is very good. I like putting vegetable oil on it instead of olive oil, which is probably not so good for me. And like some all-purpose Kinder seasoning or some little salt and pepper. You got to make sure those chicken chunks are all cut the same size, basically, and so you can cook them evenly. If they're all different sizes and stuff like that, they cook unevenly, and some of them get raw, and some of them are overdone, and you got to make sure the sizes are about the same, and you got to make sure they're cooked. One last flip. They may look rough, but they're going to be good. That's what I get for using 27 fat and 73 beef. Just so much fat that burns out of those. Should give it more flavor, but I don't know. Worked out great. Oh, and to add to my list, COPD is what the doctor says. So I forgot that. I've been doing my breathing treatments and everything else like I'm supposed to now. My sinuses and everything else are cleared up and my oxygen levels are up. So when you do what the doctor tells you to do, the pulmonologist on this one, then good things happen. So I forgot that in my list of ailments. And smoking for 20 years or whatever it was. Get that get that off the heat. Stove is clean. Let's plate this up. Let me leave this out. Ooh, sourdough. I love the smell of it. It's gonna be a messy hamburger. It's gonna be wonderful. Get on there, you little monster. All right. We're going to do a little one. Hey, don't tear up everything. That looks done in there. Does it get enough juice on it? You got to make it messier. Not impressed with the lid. I'd put some mayo on it, but not right now. And the veggies. On the side. Get my camera. Oh, I got messages. I got messages, guys. I'm scared. What a great shot. So you messaged me. Like I said, I am waiting company. Doctor's office again acting crazy. All right. As we do every week, for those not willing, I'd recommend closing or covering your ears. They may burn a little bit, and I'm sorry for that. Dear Lord, thank you for this food. Thank you for my improving health, for the troubles and problems I've had to deal with to get better and have a good outcome. Thank you for watching over all my friends and the people in chat. Thank you, dear Lord. Amen. All right, let's grub. I need some water. I think I'm going to get a fork too. It looks dangerous. You're more than welcome to come over anytime you're in town, Dan. You are more than welcome, buddy. I've never met you in person, but from what I've talked to you over 2 years, you're good people. You're my kind of people. Hell yeah. That wood fire, the garlic, that teriyaki sauce just lights up in your mouth. The flavor is there. That's in the top 5 of meals, Bachelor cooking meals. That is in the top 5. That is awesome. Really, really good, guys. You got to try it. The recipe's in Discord. Oh, that is really good. The choice of bread wasn't too bad. Here, let me do this. All right, it's only for a minute. Guys, that is an awesome hamburger. Please try it if you're into hamburger and all that kind of stuff. The grilled vegetables are just what the doctor ordered. A little of that wood fire seasoning on them, a little bit of olive oil, the touch of just, oh, greatness. So this is a really good meal. I'm very proud of it. And I'm so glad that you've been here with me through my journey on making this beautiful meal today on Bachelor Cooking Sunday. So, guys, this wraps it up for me for the week. And for Bachelor Cooking for another show is in the books. I'll post it live on Twitch. If you want to go back through and check and see what I said something or check something out or something like that, feel free. I'm also going to put it on YouTube. And if you want to check out any of the old shows, the old Game Night with Family and Friends with co-host Mr. James, they're on YouTube. And the Bachelor Cookings, a lot of them here recently have been put on YouTube too. So like and follow is greatly appreciated. Guys, I hope you have a beautiful week. Hope life treats you good. There's some friends of ours that they got sick pets. So our well wishes and our prayers go out to them. I don't know how it's going to go. It's kind of late in the stage of things. I'm expecting the worst. So, prayers go out to them. They're suffering pretty hard when they were in chat the other day. Their hearts were broke. If you're out there, DM me. I'll chat. I'll talk to you. I'll be that shoulder you want to lean on if you need it. I understand. I've lost a pet, a service dog to me. He was a service dog, not official, but I had him for 7 years, and he broke my heart when he died. It was horrible, horrible, horrible. So I understand the pain, the loss, and everything else. And for the rest of you, that are looking a little bit brighter, doing things a little bit better, I hope you meal prep for your week ahead. It saves you money and all that kind of stuff. For a few things, you pack that lunch, you do a little cooking for dinners even. You little prep for dinner, throw it in the freezer. I used to grill on the grill when I was working on Sunday, eat a big meal for Sunday night, and then have meals in the fridge for Monday and Tuesday, and I'd freeze stuff in the freezer for the rest of the week. And I'd cook up stuff on the sides as I felt like it and stuff like that. It always worked out for me. Meal prepping is the thing, saves money, cost, and you know what you're eating. And with everything going on, you got to be careful nowadays. So, guys, I love you. I really do. And I wish you, each and every one of you, the very best. And I hope you have a beautiful week. I hope you win your battles. And I hope nobody attacks you. And I hope you take care of yourself. Got to take care of you healthy, get some exercise, get some healthy food in you. And if the doctor's got you on some meds, seriously, take those meds and take care of yourself. I love you guys. See ya. See ya Thursday. Thanks, Dan.